Hey, Tim Edwards here live from my home office here in Dallas. Want to do a quick video for you here this morning. I was thinking about it when I was working out. There's so much negativity about the industry of network marketing. About how's that thing doing? And they talk about schemes and scams. And would you like to know how to actually present network marketing in a way that your prospects would see it in a different light, right? Because the perception of the business gets in the way of people actually looking at the business and understanding the business. So what would it be worth if I could tell you how to do that, right? I've done this for years, and I can tell you the sharper the person is, the more business-minded they are. When you talk about the business the way I'm going to show you right now, it's a completely different ballgame, all right? So in a world with pandemics, right, where businesses have to let lots of people go, lots of people are being laid off and furloughed. Businesses are being, it's mandatory to shut down, or now they're being, forced to social distance, even in restaurants where it's going to be hard to make a profit, right? It's just not sustainable in the current environment. And even when times are good, you've got huge companies like Walmart and Amazon, knocking off small businesses. So what's left for the average person? If corporate America or jobs aren't the way to go, and businesses are at risk, it's hard to find one that can work in this current environment. Network marketing, right? So this is where we're going to become very, very popular, because where else can you work from home, right? Protect your family, maybe homeschool your kids, or have someone help you homeschool your kids, and make an income around the globe, and nobody can stop you, right? With things that people are going to buy online. So it's the best business model ever, and it just got even better, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do this. So here's what makes network marketing special from a business perspective, okay? So it has a central location. So when, versus brick and mortars. I used to talk about this to my team back in the day when I was building my first company. When you're talking about brick and mortar stores where you've got lots of locations, hundreds of locations or thousands of locations, each of those adds overhead. Just like the mall, and the mall, they've got all these, marble floors and you've got GNCs that are all over the country, right? So all of those add cost to the product, okay? They also have, distribution costs. They have distributors, they have wholesalers, they have all these middlemen that add to the price, okay? And so network marketing doesn't have any middlemen. They make a product, they ship it straight to you, right? So it's very efficient. So you can get better quality ingredients and better products, and usually at a better price. And also, there's little to no advertising. Most companies in network marketing don't do any advertising. You know what they do? They put the ad budget that big corporations use, and they put it into compensation for us. All right, so that's why we get paid crazy amounts of money if you're productive, because there are companies that spend billions of dollars on advertising, right? That goes in commission for us. All right, so another perspective is that, would you trust a really good friend who said, hey, this is really good stuff, you should try this, or gives you a sample, or would you trust a commercial? Right? So just know that word of mouth advertising is the best and the most efficient advertising on the planet by far. Traditional sales cannot keep up with word of mouth, especially when you've got exponential sales. Right? When you start building a team that puts people on in other cities, other states, other countries, right, where you can get paid and not even be there and not even initiate the sale, there's no business that can compete with that, okay? So it's profits without borders, right? So this doesn't exist in traditional business, right? So, and I want to give you a few little things to say that will enhance your ability to communicate with your prospects, right? So you talk about being open in 37 countries or this or that. The average person says, well, I don't know anybody in those other markets. So it doesn't really hit them in a way that they grasp they can participate in that model, right? So I used to tell people, say, how would you like to wake up, walk to your computer, and see that you've made money in a country you've never been to while you slept? Because I talked to a person who talked to a person who talked to a person in that country, right? So I just started the chain reaction. Now I get paid in this foreign market while I sleep from people I don't even know. Right? See how that resonates better than we're open in 37 countries. They don't get why that's important to them, okay? So where else can you sell globally? Think about the regulatory issues that come into play when you're doing business internationally, right? You have to have attorneys. You have to have agreements with each country. You've got import and export taxes. You've got currency exchange. Do you realize how complicated this is and how super expensive it is for network marketing companies to allow you to make money around the world? It's massive, right? There very few individuals can pull this off, all right? There's also cultural differences, right, that the companies have to understand. There's different ingredients that are allowed in certain countries, different labeling. So all of this is super complicated, super expensive, right? So you can't do this in any other business except network marketing. So also there's little to no overhead and expenses, right? So once you get your skills locked in, right, the overhead is minuscule, right? Even if you hire a coach. You know, my traditional business that I started back when I was in my 20s, you know, this was in the 80s, you know, I had to sign personal guarantees. I had to put up money. I had to put up collateral with cars, houses. I mean, if I didn't make it, everything was at risk. Okay? And I was working 90 hours a week for 5 years with no vacations, on call 24/7, everything at risk. Do you realize how difficult that is and how few people will actually do that? And network marketing, you know, in my overhead, and you know, even back then in a small business was over $1 million a year. Right, so imagine waking up, you know, every day and knowing that month you've got to make $80-something thousand before you get anything. All right, and you're 20-something years old. So it was a pretty big deal. So get this, right? When I got into network marketing, I ended up making, and I made millions of dollars in traditional business, but I made about 5 times that in network marketing. You know what my overhead was per month? $200 a month. $200 a month versus 80-something grand, and I made 5 times the income. And guess what? I took off almost half of my career and just collected checks and played, right? My other business, I took off one half of one day one time to watch my stepson play in a golf tournament. That day I lost a $10,000 a month account I worked 3 years to get. I had zero freedom. I had heart palpitations at 29 years old, right? So that is why I love this model. So who loves free trips, right? The trips that you get in network marketing are sick, right? And everybody, you know, and all the companies, you know, have trip programs. So network marketing cranks out, get this, more millionaires than any industry except real estate. All right, so in real estate, you have to be licensed. It's hard to duplicate. You're usually tied to a geographical area, right, where you can't sell out of where you're licensed. So get this, right? In my previous company, we cranked out a millionaire every 9 days, right? Back before social media. So what could you do with a business model like this with social media, where you can talk to anybody on the planet 24 hours a day for free? I used to get home and I used to have to wait. I'd get home at 8 p.m. and I'd have until 9 p.m. and there was a no solicitors law where you couldn't call anyone after 9 p.m. So there was no internet, there was no social media. I had to call people, and it was against the law to call after 9 p.m. So now you could get home at 8, 9, put the kids to bed, you know, fix dinner, and you could stay up and work your business on social media free for a few hours a night and get up early that morning and work it again. I couldn't call before 7:30. You guys have no idea the opportunity that you have today. So network marketing, here's my definition of network marketing, especially in this pandemic era. There is no defense against an excellence that meets a pressing public need. There are tens of millions of people that are worried about their health, worried about their kids, worried about their jobs and their businesses. We had the answer, all right? So focus on being proud about your industry. Get out there and talk like this to people so that they grasp that this is not one of those things or one of those schemes. This is the best business model on the planet. And everybody on the planet today that didn't respect it before, when they start thinking about, man, if I'd have gotten that deal 3 or 4 years ago and built up a little extra income or a plan B, I wouldn't be where I am right now. Right? So this is more valid than ever. So if you have any questions, you know, you don't have to be a coaching client or on my team. Shoot me a message. Love to chat with you and get you on the right track. Have a great day.